So, to sum it up, my siblings are bullies, narcissists, psychopaths, thieves, all-around criminals who operate in a really embarrassing gang, and at this point, I would argue they are child abusers. They abused me my entire childhood, seemingly with pride, from age 10 to like age 20, and they tried to continue it afterwards, into adulthood. And, anybody trying to be in the comments like, oh, this makes you look bad, I don't care. Listen to the rant, enjoy it for what it is, laugh at my siblings or laugh at me, do whatever the fuck you want to do, I don't give a shit. Listen to what I'm saying. So, my name is Matthew Holman, CrackedRack. I'm a content creator, musician, mostly known for my Lolcow Watch stuff. I also write books. I do stuff of that nature. And I'm someone who pretty much grew up an only child. I had siblings, but they weren't real. You see, my siblings are about 20 years older than me. They range from like 10 years, I don't even know their exact ages. They range from like 10 years to 20 years older than me. So I'm 23, so they're all like 30s, 40s. Grown-ass adults. At this point, totally isolated from their entire family system. They do not have any family members at all other than each other at this point. So how did we get here? Well, it starts from a young age. Let's start with my oldest brother. I'm not going to say his name. Here's a censored picture of his face. He is a disgusting man. Absolutely fucking foul. Now, it's hard to prove this because he has made sure to cover his tracks like a genius narcissist Hannibal Lecter type or something. I'm not quite sure. Basically, I'll have some proof, at least for my older sister, but for my brother, I don't really have any, unfortunately, because he's a fucking mastermind. But basically, my older brother is a psychopath. He has a terrible reputation. All the way back to age 12 years old, when I wasn't even born yet, he was getting in trouble with the FBI for being a potential school shooter. For real. He had severe traits of antisocial personality disorder, really bad. And he was also a homosexual. Now, at the time, in the 90s and early 2000s, homosexuality wasn't as accepted as it is now, so he struggled really hard with that. He was bullied, he had his face bashed in, he was pushed around, he was bullied so incredibly hard, and he was just in a shitty life. I mean, his life sucked. And he just found solace in being a piece of shit. He was just so manipulative and cruel. And when he got to his teenage years, when I was born, he was being real creepy to me. He was being real love-bomby and real pedo-like and buying me a bunch of toys and a bunch of real creepy shit I won't even mention. And he was just being a piece of shit. And he was committing domestic violence against my mom. And he was like trying to imprint himself on me for life. And it ended in him getting kicked out of the house when he was about 17. And he went and moved into a homeless shelter where he lived. And at the time, I was a damn baby and my older sister was a damn baby. So my parents had no time for my brother's nonsense. So they kicked his ass to the curb. So then he started messing around with organized crime. He actually has a citation on his criminal record for burglary because he was committing burglaries. He was taking a latch key, a bump key, which is a way to enter people's houses universally, which is so creepy. He was entering their house and stealing their jewelry. And he actually ended up being on the FBI's wanted list. I don't know if that's a lie he told, but it sounds about right. He's a fucking piece of shit. And he stole an old lady's jewelry set or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know why people give a shit about jewelry, but yeah, he stole her jewelry. And he just went on a fucking drug and crime spree. And he actually got involved with organized criminals in Medford, Oregon, who tried to kill him because he got so involved. He claims he did a blood oath, but that could just be bullshit from a loser. But he mostly kicked it in a homeless shelter. So, in the homeless shelter, my gay, marginalized brother, who I will never speak to ever again, mind you, met with this man named Kirk. Kirk is a convicted felon who is an absolutely horrible man who would sell drugs to kids on playgrounds, allegedly. I don't know if that's something he just made up, but it's probably true. Now, this is disgusting behavior, but it's not even the beginning of my older brother's mayhem. So, my brother then married this man who was like 45 years old. He was like 18 years old, and this man was like 45 years fucking old. And it didn't last, obviously. And it ended with him leaving. And when he left, he then went to the next man. I don't know what his name was at all, but it was another man. And then he went to another man. So at this point, he is literally going to the doctor to check to make sure he does not have AIDS, because he is in serious danger. He is literally doing, hard sex acts with these way older men. So he's very marginalized. And I don't even say this to bully him or whatever. This is true shit. So around this time, he meets a man named... I'm not even going to say his name just in case he watches. It starts with a D. And he was a prison guard. And he was a creepy fucking guy. Really creepy. Potentially committed rape against inmates. That's why I'm not going to say his name. I don't want him to, use his connections to come here and stab me in the face. But, yeah, creepy dude. My brother claims he had wild sex with him. Yeah. So my brother ended up getting creeped out or something by this guy. So he left him, and this is where the abuse of me started. So I'm literally just a little boy minding his own business, and my brother love bombs me. He buys all these amazing Xbox games. It was 2000 and something, so, Bully Scholarship Edition, GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption 1, those were like all the big games, and that's what I was playing because he gave me access to them. So fast forward a little bit later, and he starts, marrying this dude, like literally marrying very quickly after meeting him, this, financially well-off dude. I don't want to say his name, so instead of saying his name, we're going to call him Dyke. It's very, very close to his actual name, one letter off. So Dyke and my older brother are together, and they are enmeshed. Just absolutely enmeshed, and it's just a domestic violence situation, by the way. So, basically, they get married very quickly, and then they start inviting me over. Now, I was about 13 years old during these creepy events, and I will say they are creepy. I started going over to my brother's house regularly, I want to say once every week, maybe once every 2 weeks at most, for about a year. And when I'm going over there, well, let's just say on the night of his wedding, he invited me into the bathroom. 30-year-old man, by the way. And he pulls out a shot of schnapps. And I drank it. And then he gave me more and more. And I got drunk as fuck for the first time at 13. Woke up the next morning, was vomiting blood, felt like I was going to die. And he basically coached me through the hangover. So my father, my biological father, is somebody who is physically disabled. He got very sick due to an accident, and he wasn't able to be there for me as much as he wanted to be. He was just very, very sick all the time, sleeping all the time, because he's chronically ill. Like, he could have died from what happened. So, and he wasn't perfect. I mean, it would be a joke to say he was perfect, but he was, he was a rock musician. He was really doing it. He was touring to make money for his family. It's kind of a cool goal when you think about it, but, illness in life gets in the way. My brother took full advantage of this and made me, see him in, a father way. And I don't know what the hell child me was thinking. He was a horrible man back then, but I was like, yes! I was just so excited to have a father figure who, wasn't chronically ill. So, I kept hanging around this creepy dude. I shouldn't have, but I did. He's my brother, or so I thought. And it just got creepier and creepier. It escalated to just having cans of Bud Light in the fridge all of the time for me to have, and when I was like 13, and making canna butter, transforming marijuana into butter, extracting it into butter, and giving it to me, which made me so fucking high. I have not been able to I am a 23-year-old adult man. I have not been able to recreate some of those highs. That is how fucking intoxicated child me got. I've done shrooms, and it wasn't even as intense as that high was. So yeah, it just kept getting worse and worse until, what do you know, I moved in with him. Now, I contributed to this move in ways I don't want to talk about, but I did contribute to it. But I was 14, and he was 30, and giving me drugs. So I move in with him, and it is the worst 2 years of my life. And I'm sure he's stroking his boner hearing that right now as he listens. It was hell. They were like weird, creepy foster parents that just wanted to abuse children, and they got like a pleasure out of seeing me fail, even though I was a child and I didn't even really have anything yet. And you remember those Angry Paper Plate Man videos I used to make when I was a kid? If you've been following me that long, they were jealous of it. Yeah, they're that fucking pathetic. They were jealous of it and trying to destroy it because I was getting like 2,000 views on videos about not lolcows, that would be right now, object shows. And they started getting to a point where they referred to themselves as my censors, and they started watching all of my videos just to tell me I can't upload it, and they would take joy and pleasure in deleting them. And yeah, it was disgusting, and so I left. However, the creepy creep guy, I don't even call him by his name anymore, started sending me like birthday gifts so that I'd talk to him again. And when I was 16 to 18, I was very lonely, and I was silly, and I was very naive. And because I had no one really guiding me other than my parents, but they were a lot older, and they were busy. So, I have so much compassion for younger me, but yeah, he somehow, I don't know why I went back, but he convinced me to come back. And it was horrifying. It was like a horror movie. To sum it up, he roofied me. He put a roofie in my wine. By the way, he does this to numerous people. He roofied a woman once and told me about it because she had a wedding ring that he wanted to steal. I used to be like his supply slave, so I was like his confidant. Like, he could tell me everything. So, yeah, he did that, and he did it to me. He also assaulted me in the face one time, and, a bunch of other disgusting shit. He was just being a bully. Now, I could handle his actions, detached from him. If some random did that to me, I wouldn't really care that much. But it was him doing it, and it was such a child-abusing, creepy Jeffrey Dahmer thing to do. Like, I bet hearing this, he's stroking his little boner right now and squealing with joy. Like, that is how creepy and disgusting he is. He also started abusing his husband, Deichel, as we will call him. And I think Deichel is a fucking douchebag, dipshit, autistic little loser. But he, my brother would be like, buy me Taco Bell! It's like 2 a.m. He's like, no, I work tomorrow. He's like, buy me Taco Bell! We wouldn't buy him Taco Bell, so he punches his fucking door, puts a fucking hole through his door. It also got to a point where he was sleep depriving me on purpose, and he enjoyed it. He enjoyed every second of it. And, yeah, I left. Told you, suck my dick, fuck you. And I left. And never came back. But he tried to lure me and hoover me for several years, until he just went on a big smear campaign. Alright, so that's my older brother. Worthless piece of shit. His ex-boyfriends all hope he dies. I hope he fucking ends up dead in a ditch. His parents hate his guts. Fuck you. I would spit on you if I can. Now, the next one. My older sister. Now, her only crime, really, is being stupid. She was a very stupid teenager. All she did was get into trouble and overdose on drugs and scare her family. She got sexually assaulted, which is horrible, but she did. And, it was just a string of horror that we had to witness. And I'm not going to blame her for the sexual assault, but everything else was her fault. Like, she would put subwoofers in her car and just blast them to the full volume. So everywhere we went, it was like, and she was just a fucking horrible fucking girl. And she abandoned me when I was like a little boy, before I even had the chance to even get to know her very well. She just abandoned me. She showed up sporadically when it was convenient for her, but then she ditched to Japan, and she thinks she's like a weeaboo Japanese anime lady. She's fucking horrible. And she's just mean, and yeah, I don't even know who she is. She pretty much died, in my view. And last time I checked up on her, she cheated on her spouse like twice, which is just awful. Why would you fucking do that? And it's not like I'm airing dirty laundry. This was something I was just able to hear instantly, like, from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, just absolutely fucking ridiculous. So to her, you know, for being complacent and what I'm going to discuss, go to hell. I never want to see you again. You're a lolcow. Alright, next up on the chopping slaughter block is the worst of them, my oldest sister, Valerie. And I'm allowed to say her name because she has a social media page where she thinks she's a public figure and an influencer. It's very cringe. Valerie is a cancer. She is a malignant narcissist, absolute fucking scumbag, neo-Nazi piece of shit. Ever since I was a kid, I just prayed every night that she would die. Like, have an overdose and die. She is a disgusting disgrace. There's not even that much to say about her. She's a covert/malignant narcissist, depends on what suits her best. She's scammed people her whole life. She crashed a car through a grocery store window, or some kind of window. You know, it's a criminal record, so I can't get the full details. But she had to pay like $50,000 of restitution, which I bet she didn't pay. She has been a drug addict her entire life. She literally used to create drugs out of poppy seeds, and she would go farm them. And she's just been doing drugs her whole fucking life, and she honestly encouraged most of my family's downfall. And she was just a stupid bitch piece of shit, and all she did was commit domestic violence and bully people every day. That's all she did. And she was like the, you know, she thinks that she was the golden child, but she wasn't. You know, people actually did try to help her. My parents tried to help her, and she was just a piece of shit. She is fucking worthless, and if she died, I'd fucking laugh. So yeah, I hate that bitch! She would stalk me and my parents and send us into fight or flight mode when I was a little kid and love it and get joy out of it and tell me to commit suicide, and she was like 35, 45 years old. And she loved it, and she cheated on her husband, who we liked, for some piece of shit. And she's now isolated her children with her nasty, disgusting abuse and trying to make her kids see her as some kind of, you know, vulnerable person that needs protection. She would fucking make a huge embarrassment in Walmart because she would steal shit and put it in her bra and get fucking caught for it. And she would bully not just me as a kid and as an adult. She would do it to anybody. She would have a friend and they'd be best friends. And because her best friend's a Christian, she would stalk and smear her and try to give her PTSD. She was just a horrible bitch piece of shit. And I fucking hated her. My parents fucking hated her. We just wanted her to die. And she wouldn't. Unfortunately. So, yeah, then it got really bad because she started cheating on her baby daddy, who's a good guy, a really good guy. Started cheating on him with a dude named Glenn. Glenn is the biggest cocksucker, piece of fucking douchebag shit I've ever seen in my life. And if I ever see that cocksucker ever again, this douchebag has not only corrupted my nieces with narcissism and abuse, which he's probably going to do forever, and they're probably going to turn out horrible for it. He has also stalked and smeared me and my family for 8 years, caused countless trauma to numerous people proudly. The reason I'm even so angry about him is because he launched a smear campaign. When I didn't do what this cocksucking little douchebag, coward, fatten, I'm not going to say that F slur, I want to though. when I didn't do what this douchebag, micro-cocked loser wanted. Him and his ugly, ugly wife launched a smear campaign on me and my entire family. They accused us of shit we did not do. They accused us of pedophilia. They accused us of awful stuff. They made subreddits after us. They botted the subreddits. They sent harassment emails to my family members. They tried to manipulate all my ratings on all of my videos, which I bet they're going to do to this one even. They, threatened to kill me. Now I think that's ridiculous because I'll fucking kill you, bitch. But back then I was scared because I was a little more naive. And they just are such pieces of garbage. I want them to die. I hope this video makes your wife cry, you little bitch pussy. Now, yeah, he did a bunch of awful shit. He stalked and smeared me. He doxed my mother. He flushed my aunt's ashes down the toilet and bragged about it, but deleted it when called out because he's a pussy. And, he got CPS called in on him. He got police called on him. He triggered somebody to send bomb threats to a hospital, which caused the FBI to swarm him, traumatizing his children, I'm fucking sure. And now, I'm on court hearing number 4, because this micro-cocked loser is dodging the consequences of his actions. He is dodging the restraining order against him, just like I knew he would. And yeah, those are my siblings. So now, if you wonder why I hate them so much, and I hope they die, and I speak of them like trash, and I mock them, and I belittle them, and I humiliate them, that is why. I don't regret what I'm saying. I'm not saying this in the heat of the moment. I'm not sorry. And I will continue to humiliate them until they either go away forever and leave me alone, or they do maybe have an accident. And I'm very serious about this. I've reported my older brother to the local school district I used to attend. I have pressed charges on him. I have charges against the man. I have told his job. I have told his friends. His entire family has disowned him. It's a very serious deal. As for my sister, she's had 2 CPS cases open on her that she is dodging. She also has court orders that she is dodging. She is making it a priority to dislike bomb my YouTube videos and smear me, which I'll get into in a second, rather than being a parent. And their smear campaigns are very stupid and cheap. One of them is called CrackedRack on YouTube, and it's this schizophrenic channel that she botted with like 100 subscribers, and she posts on it every day for months, even with the court order. And she'll just be like, haha, your penis is small. And it's like, you're my older sister, that's disgusting. You're a fucking freak, and probably a pedophile, and you probably want to suck my dick. When you talk about my genitalia, Valerie, I want to kill you. I want to brass knuckle you in the eyeballs and mouth until you die. And put that on fucking record, you dumb slut. So yeah, those are my siblings. I would argue they are all lolcows, considering they have an internet presence. My older sister claims that she is now an Irish teacher, but then in the next post, and she's 41 by the way, in the next post she'll be like, so I just learned my first Irish sentence, but I'm an Irish student. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know how Irish sounds. Gabba, blah, blah, blah. I just want to hear her cry. That's just fucking... It's fap fodder. It really is. And she does disgusting shit. Like, she tattooed her entire fucking limb, which is deadly. You can't fucking do that. You just can't fucking do that. She tattooed her entire limb with stick and poke. You can get a fucking infection and die. You know, I've had friends who almost died from, not almost died, but got really sick and got an infection they had to go to the hospital for because they did a little tiny one on their arm with a stick and poke. And they were, they researched how to do it. So, just absolutely pathetic and creepy and disgusting. That's kind of what I feel like Michael Myers would do with his spare time. And she also she's like obsessed with fermentation, which is just disgusting. When I think of someone nasty like Valerie who has terrible hygiene and has bad odor all of the time, who lives in a very poverty-stricken environment that's hardly the size of a Walmart bathroom, the last thing I want to consume, or would want to, is anything she ferments. What does she ferment it with? Her fucking farts? And she's like, yeah, I made some cheese. I fermented cheese. And it's like, I don't want Valerie cheese. Who wants Valerie cheese? And she also fucking, she makes like Kay's cooking style shit. She'll be like, I boiled some noodles in wine. Ugh. Oh god, she made these sourdough noodles that look like worms. Ugh. And she boiled them in wine. Oh, and I'm pretty sure she fermented the wine, too. So she made the noodles with her grubby little hands, boiled it in wine, and at the same time is stalking me, threatening to kill me and my family, trying to intimidate me, dodging court orders, and tattooing all of her limbs, while a CPS case is active. If this is not a lolcow, then what is? And I'm still not entirely convinced the entire Irish student tattooing of the leg and all the other shit, I'm almost convinced that was for me. Because it's all a fucking lie, and it's like she's trying to undo the damage I am doing to her life and reputation.
Hey y'all, Val here. Is dat de kwelke mee? I am an Irish student. I can't keep it in any longer. I have to share it. So, unfortunately for you, here we are. I thought the first thing that I would share is hello. So, hello. Gia goed. Gia goed. Gia goed. Hello. And naturally, at some point, you'll probably want to say goodbye after you say hello. So the word for goodbye is slow. Slow. Hopefully I will have some more words of Irish to share with you soon. Thank you, or grammatical. Take care out there.
She also claimed quite often when I lived with her that she committed church burnings. And she promotes that on her page. She talks about church burnings as well. So she's, just an all-around fucking scumbag. Oh, she just disgusts me to my core. I really, really, really wish she would either disappear from the internet forever and never communicate with me or show herself ever again, die, like actually fucking die, or become such a laughingstock that I don't even really care anymore. And I think what I hate about her the most is she won't watch this video and be like, oh, fuck, I fucked up, I made some mistakes, I should think about it. And she won't even be like, oh, I'm gonna retaliate with my own video exposing him. No. She'll run around her fucking house, she'll grab her hair, she'll start screaming and crying, she'll start plotting of how trying to make this go away like a child. She'll fail at her plan, look like a giant asshole in the process, and the cycle repeats itself. And, I really appreciate the judges and the police who have been, trying to help me out on this, but honestly, I think that all these people need is a little lolcow justice. I'm not insinuating I want you guys to do anything to them. You did not get that from me. You did not get that from me. But if it were to happen, well, I wouldn't be shedding any tears. Also, some more creepy facts about my siblings. My sister's husband has a tattoo on his neck that says antisocial on it, among a bunch of swastika-type designs all over his body. On top of that, my sister also has a throat tattoo that signifies the card of death, I think it was. It's like some satanic bullshit. Other facts. My older sister, and I only know this because she told me, she likes to pee on the floor when she gets too drunk. If she gets too drunk, she'll wake up in the middle of the night, piss all over the floor. My older brother once told me when I was a teenager that, hey, I had so much gay anal sex, in his words, I had so much gay anal sex that poop leaked out of my butt onto the floor in a diarrhea fashion, and I had to change everything and bleach my chair. So there you go. Those are my siblings. Oh, how could I forget the time that I helped my 30-something-year-old brother set up a gay porn account on fucking chat roulette under the name Niles Cherry when I was, 14? And on this channel, and you can fucking cross-analyze me, okay? You can FBI lie detector me. He pissed into cups and smelled it and drank it for an audience. So basically, my coward, pathetic siblings, I don't even like calling them that, saw that I was a known YouTuber and that I was getting bigger and bigger, and they all got together and were like, oh shit, he's gonna expose all of our shit. And yeah, I am. But I wasn't going to until you provoked me over and over again and wanted attention. So here's all of the attention. Hopefully it fucking kills you.